First of all, Ahlam, give me an introduction about yourself and Mangrove for Mankind.
Great, thanks, Kawthar, and thank you everyone who came the other night on our live, which didn't work, and thank you for showing up again today. So to tell everyone a little bit about M4M, it's an initiative that started in August of 2019 when the Amazon fires were where the Amazon forests were burning, and the fire was all over the news, and it was such a difficult time because you already felt the climate crisis, but then to see it burn at the rate of I think it was like one football field per second or something like that. It was a crazy rate where it was burning under. So the panic really rised at that time, and Sheikh Shamma and myself started to talk about it, and we really, we were thinking as individuals, and I'm sure a lot of people must be feeling the same way. You want to do something, but you're not sure if all these links online, is your money going to go to the right place? Is it actually going to go into stopping the fire? Is it actually going to go into planting trees or not? And so because we weren't sure, we said, the UAE is in a unique position that we have really strong diplomatic ties with nations around the world. And, I think that we would be in, how UAE always does things in an accelerated rate. And we thought that we would be in a unique position to be able to accelerate that help also from where we are. And then we started to research, and we found, some websites around the world where they, you kind of collected donations for planting trees and things like that. And we liked the idea of how this was done. And there was, people who would measure your carbon footprint, and then you could offset. And so we started to just look into all of those things. And then when we came to actually deciding what tree we want to focus on, we chose the mangrove because there are, first of all, so many of them within the UAE. And if we want to research, if we want to learn more about the area where we're focusing on, we can just do it in our own home, and we don't have to keep traveling to do this, and we don't have to depend on external expertise. We have all the expertise here in the country and all the means that we need to be able to do it at home. So that's why we chose mangroves to start with, but also there's infinite benefits to mangroves versus other trees. So once a mangrove tree is mature, so when I say mature, like 10 years and older, it actually, research shows that it absorbs more carbon anywhere between 4 to 8 times more than a terrestrial tree. So the benefit of it is huge, but also it stores so much carbon in its soil. So when you actually destroy a mangrove, a mangrove forest or an area with mangroves, you're not only taking away the source of carbon sequestration, you're actually releasing those hundreds and hundreds of years of carbon that's in the soil back into the atmosphere. So the result is actually a disaster. So we actually decided to focus our work in preserving, most importantly, and planting mangroves. And the goal is to do it in every coastal country in the world, and that's our big dream. But we got to start somewhere, and we've been starting. We started strong this year, alhamdulillah.
I know what I like about Mangrove for Mankind, the concept itself as an NGO have really provided a platform for entities, I believe, for entities who wants to support communities, who wants to engage with communities. Like a lot of government and big private companies have that lack of connection with community. And I think Mangrove for Mankind can really connect them to people through activities, programs, scientific research, and so on. And I know that you are working on so many exciting things. Even when Sheikh Shamma tells me about all the new things you guys are working on and everything, it's very exciting that an initiative like that is coming out of the UAE. And we're not just inspiring the people in the UAE, but inspiring people all over the world. But you kind of touched base on the mangrove, the importance of the mangrove tree and why. But I want you to kind of give me more details, because a lot of people think that it's just, there are so many other things we could do for climate change. Because
Yeah.
I understood, yeah, educate me please, because I'm also learning throughout the process. I understood that mangrove trees are very easy to maintain as well. Is that correct?
It's true. Like once they're sustaining themselves, you know, that the biodiversity just comes, and it's just amazing how many things also, like as a cycle, depend on that mangrove ecosystem. And actually mangroves are home to more than 3,000 fish species, and with the decreasing fish stock in the world at the moment, it's not something that we can ignore. So many communities around the world who live around mangroves, actually their livelihoods depends on the health of the mangrove ecosystem in their area. So actually when we're reviving and taking care of mangrove ecosystems in more impoverished countries around the world, you're actually like providing a livelihood for the people who live in that area, and it makes a huge difference all around, not just you know, from one side, but it's enriching from so many different aspects.
And I know that there are threats now towards mangroves. What are these threats beside people not
Yeah.
caring for them and all of these things?
I mean, one of the biggest threats is the shrimp fisheries, you know, because you kind of mess with the salination of the water, you mess with bringing species that are kind of foreign to that area, and you're introducing things that shouldn't be there. There's chemicals that's put into there that messes with the natural flow of how life in those mangrove ecosystems need to be. The charcoal and timber industries are a big threat. Tourism is a big threat because obviously mangroves are coastal areas which are prime tourism destinations. So a big part of preserving these mangroves is, you know, first of all, government intervention, making sure that government is supporting these initiatives and making sure these lands are protected and untouched. But also making sure that those mangroves, their life, you know, are more profitable than having to put in something else in its place. So you have to make sure that the people who live in those coastal areas benefit enough from those mangrove ecosystems that they protect it with their lives. So it's not enough for you to just put like a coast guard and make sure no one is messing with it. But also once the community around it feel like it's giving them so much, it's giving them so much fish, it's giving them their livelihood, then they will make sure that it's thriving and it's preserved. And some of the most successful initiatives around the world that have done this, the protection of mangroves and the plantation, that's what they've done. They go there and then they hire locally, you know, local farmers, local communities, to make sure that they all feel so invested that they are like the frontline protectors of these mangroves area.
Locals as well in these communities, which is also a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and they're a big source of, actually they stop erosion, you know, they stop natural disasters in a big way, like tsunamis and things like that. So they're a huge source of protection of the coast. They provide like early or easy food for like for the fish that grow there, or you know, in the early stage in their life before they move on to the corals. So it's an easy way for them to find food there, and so that the chance of their survival is even higher before they move on to the coral and continue their lives. So there's just so many infinite benefits.
You know, Ahlam, it's so interesting. Like, I know a lot of people obviously know about the mangroves and its importance for our existence as humans and for the animals around us and the habitat and all of that. But it's so unfortunate that people who are not in the sustainability sector or within the environment sector don't know so much about mangroves. And I know that you've
Yeah.
uh, an initiative or a campaign called Painted Green. Tell us
Mm-hmm.
a little bit about this campaign.
Yeah, so this is an interesting campaign because, like, I myself, you know, I'm not environmental science. I never studied in environmental science, but I just feel like all of us are are at a place where we can't just leave it to the environmental scientists anymore to take care of this problem. The problem is big enough that every single one of us needs to look at, in my circle, in my capability, what can I do? And that's where it started for me personally. I mean, my day job has nothing to do with an environmental science, and so
That's how you make change.
yeah, absolutely.
That has nothing to do with your day to day.
Yeah. So I mean, I work in the arts, and I was trying to think, when the lockdown happened, it was just around the time where M4M had picked up, and so we tried to think of a way to involve artists in this movement, because for as long as humanity has been around, I feel that artists have always been the drivers of change. What they create and what they talk about is always in the front line of creating change for any society. So it was important for us to involve artists. So what we did was we shortlisted and selected 6 locally based artists, 5 of whom are Emirati, and they created 8 paintings inspired by mangroves and mangrove ecosystems. And we built a partnership with Bloomingdale's department store. And these paintings are on sale on the bloomingdales.ae website. The proceeds from these paintings will go 35% to the artist and 65% directly to our planting project. So it's not, M4M is not taking any money from it at this stage, and Bloomingdale's is also not taking anything from the sales. So I really urge everyone who's here to have a look on the Bloomingdale's website. Just type M4M as a brand, so M4M, and you'll see all of the paintings. And if you know anyone who loves art and is an art collector and is looking to do good, please do support and raise awareness of this campaign, and we really appreciate it. It'll go a long way.
To be honest, Ahlam, I really love the idea, and I love the fact that these artists, some of them that I know personally, have actually collaborated with you guys, because it shows you that the artist community are so involved in causes like this, and the fact that they've taken inspiration from mangroves and really are trying to tell the story and create awareness through art is just amazing. And I think they deserve a shout out, and I will definitely tag them in the video because they really deserve it. And we want more people who can collaborate in initiatives like this, with NGOs and things that impact society, environment, and so on. And I know that Bloomingdale's Dubai, for example, I also want to give them a special thank you, because the Tire Group are in the heart of supporting local NGOs and local artists and community projects. So I have to give them the credit when the credit has to be given, because we want to encourage more cooperation and entities to support initiatives like this.
Absolutely.
What are the ways for entities or individuals to support?
So 2 days ago, we launched our SMS campaign. So the Bloomingdale's is sort of one side of things, but we wanted also another means where anyone and everyone can contribute a little bit. So we have an SMS campaign running at the moment. So if you text M4M, again, letter M, number 4, and letter M, to the number 4231, whether you're on Du or Itisalat, it doesn't matter. You can text us and text the number, and immediately you would be able to donate 10 dirhams, which is the equivalent of 10 mangroves in our upcoming planting project, which will be announced soon.
Nothing. We spend so much money on really random stuff. What is 10 dirhams? If you do every month 10 dirhams, or every person in the family, for our own existence sake, I think this is a very, very affordable. How much do we pay for an iPhone or a dinner out at Zuma or anything like that?
So true.
And I know that it's all been collaborated and managed by the Red Crescent, right? The SMS campaign and all.
Yeah. So Emirates Red Crescent's our partner, and I want to share a really sweet story. A mother contacted me yesterday to say, my daughter is creating these little bracelets in her school, and she sells them to students, and every month she gives that money to a different initiative. How would it be if she could do 20 SMSs to M4M? I said that would be 200 mangroves, and and that's the way where you engage people at such a young age, children at that age. If this little girl creates some bracelets, sells them, and she knows that because of her efforts, 200 mangroves were planted, and what an impact that made in the world. She's never gonna not do that. She's always gonna be connected to Earth and the environment and our planet. So it's that planting that seed in people is what's really important, because then for a lifetime they'll always continue to take care of our planet.
But I know that you're also keen to have more. You want to build this community. You have a community, but you want to build the community even bigger and bigger. And you're looking for volunteers, scientists, and so on. Tell us a little bit about the requirements. What are you currently in need of, beside the donation and the support, for people to be involved?
Yeah, I mean, we have an incredible team of 6 volunteers at the moment. Sometimes we know what we're looking for, and sometimes we don't know what we're looking for. Someone will reach out to us and say, look, I have this skill set. I think I can do this for you. And we say, yes, great. Come join our team. We meet once a week and we kind of talk through it. And they're, our volunteers are giving me such renewed hope in humanity, because I'm like, how are these people so dedicated? You're so used to human beings always doing things for money, and then you look at these people and you're like, how dedicated. Like, some of them have full-time jobs. I mean, I'm included, but like a couple of our volunteers, they all have full-time demanding jobs, but then they come at the end of the week and we say, what have you done this week? And they've done so much. And some of them aren't working as well, but treating this as a full-time job when they're just volunteering, and just the dedication and the passion that they have is so good to see. And we get contacted every day by extremely skilled individuals who want to give us their time and their skills so generously. At the moment, we're looking for an in-house environmental specialist to help us continuously create content and awareness on all of our channels. And we're also looking for a social media manager. So if anybody is interested in joining our lovely team of volunteers, which is like a family now, please do reach out to us through our website. And we'll be posting about it on social media next week as well. So you can comment and share with anyone who would be interested in joining. But yeah, I mean, our contacts are on the website. Please reach out. Follow us on social media on M4M Community. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we're always connected and happy to hear ideas.
Any last message for our audience?
Yes, I mean, any contribution goes a very long way. I just want to remind everyone of our SMS campaign. Please share it with your friends, family, social media. 10 dirhams is really not a lot, but it goes a long way for our campaign. And we really want to plant as much as we can in our upcoming project. So the number is 4231. And if you just SMS M4M, you will generously donate 10 dirhams to us, and feel free to send as many SMSs as you like and help us out.
From my side, I really want to thank Sheikh Shamma and yourself for really dedicating time to do good and engaging the community to be part of this journey. And I can't wait to see M4M, not just in the UAE, but globally, activating and supporting communities and bringing students, researchers, and everyone on board for one goal. So thank you so much, Ahlam, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Kawthar. It's been really great talking to you, and thank you for all your support always.
My pleasure.
Thanks.